My wife texted, "I want a divorce, talk to my lawyer." So I played by her rules. And won. 15 years. That's how long we were married. 15 years of shared holidays, inside jokes, and what I thought was mutual respect. Then, on a random Tuesday afternoon, my phone buzzed. It was Olivia. "No, we need to talk," no warning, just 4 cold, brutal words. "I want a divorce." The next line was even worse, "All communication goes through my lawyer." I stared at the screen, my stomach dropping. We'd had dinner the night before. Talked about weekend plans. Nothing seemed wrong. And now? A text. No discussion. No chance to fix anything. Just done. At first, the emotions hit me: hurt, anger, betrayal. But then, something else took over: cold, calculating clarity. She wanted this to be a legal battle. Fine. But Olivia had made one critical mistake. She forgot who controlled the money. The first move. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't even call her. I simply replied, "Understood." Then I opened my banking app. Our finances had always been carefully structured. We both had personal accounts, plus I maintained the joint accounts that covered household expenses. Olivia hadn't worked full-time in years. She ran a small jewelry business that was more hobby than income source, bringing in maybe $800 in a good month. I paid for everything substantial. Her credit cards. Actually mine, with her as an authorized user. I navigated to the card management section. 2 taps and her access was cancelled. The monthly allowance of $3,000 I transferred to her personal account. Stopped a recurring payment. Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, even the damn Wi-Fi password. Changed them all. Our shared photo cloud storage. Downloaded everything, then removed her access. The car she drove daily. Leased in my name. I didn't cancel that immediately, didn't want her stranded or causing an accident, but I made a note to discuss transfer options with a lawyer. She wanted lawyers. Great. Lawyers don't pay for your Starbucks habit or your weekly spa appointments. An hour later, her lawyer's contact information arrived by email. A Richard Peterson of Peterson and Associates. I forwarded it straight to Jessica Cole, the shark of a divorce attorney. My buddy had recommended after his own divorce battle. My email to Ms. Cole was short. Received divorce demand via text. Compliance initiated. Need asset protection strategy ASAP. Then I finished my workday like nothing happened. I had a project deadline, and Olivia's bombshell wasn't going to make me miss it. That night, I went home to an eerily quiet house. Olivia had clearly been there while I was at work. Her closet was half empty. Her favorite paintings were gone from the walls. Her laptop wasn't on her desk. She'd planned this exit meticulously. I ordered takeout, cracked open a beer, and started making lists of assets, accounts, and items I needed to protect or track. Not out of vengeance, but out of self-preservation. I slept surprisingly well that night. Maybe shock. Maybe relief that the tension I hadn't even fully recognized was finally out in the open. The documentation phase. The next morning, I met with Ms. Cole before work. Her office was minimalist, functional, with not a single personal photo or item visible. All business. I liked her immediately. "Tell me everything," she said, "especially what you've done since the text." I explained my immediate financial moves. She nodded approvingly. "Good first steps. Now we document everything. Every account, every asset, every expense. We need to establish the baseline of your marital lifestyle and who paid for what." For the next week, I became a financial archaeologist. Digging through years of records. Bank statements showing my deposits versus Olivia's. Credit card statements revealing her spending patterns. Property records for our house, which I'd bought mostly with an inheritance, carefully kept separate. Investment accounts I'd built while Olivia showed zero interest. Records showing I paid for her car, her insurance, her cell phone. Tax returns where her business consistently showed minimal income. Ms. Cole particularly wanted to establish patterns over the past year. Often, she explained, someone planning divorce will start moving money, making large purchases, or changing financial behaviors. We need to check for that. Sure enough, the records showed Olivia had been quietly preparing. She'd opened a new personal account 6 months ago. Small transfers had been moving from our joint account to her personal one. She'd made several large jewelry purchases using our joint credit card. Her business expenses had suddenly doubled in the past quarter. She's been planning this for months, Ms. Cole observed. Squirreling away funds, converting cash to assets. Classic pre-divorce behavior. I felt another wave of betrayal. While I was planning our anniversary trip, she was planning her exit strategy. The panic sets in. Exactly 72 hours after Olivia's text, my phone rang. Unknown number. Hello, is this Ethan? A clipped, professional male voice. Speaking. This is Richard Peterson, Olivia's attorney. We have a situation that needs immediate attention. I almost laughed. 3 days. It had taken 3 days for reality to hit her. My client is experiencing significant financial hardship, he continued. Her cards are declining. She has no access to funds. This is highly irregular during separation proceedings. I kept my voice calm and level. Mr. Peterson, Olivia demanded divorce via text message and specifically instructed me to communicate only through you. I'm complying with her wishes. The informal financial support arrangements that existed within our marriage ended the moment she ended our marriage. Silence on the line. Then, sputtering, she needs funds for necessities. For accommodation. Accommodation? I asked, genuinely surprised. Where is she staying? That's not relevant, he replied stiffly. What is relevant is that you've cut her off without warning, which could be viewed as financial abuse by the court. Now it was my turn for silence as I processed the audacity of this claim. Mr. Peterson, I finally said, your client unilaterally terminated our marriage via text message, with no discussion, no counseling attempt, nothing. She set the terms, lawyers only. I'm respecting those terms. If she needs emergency support, you're welcome to file the appropriate motions. My attorney's contact information should be in your inbox. This isn't the end of this discussion, he warned. You're right, I agreed. It's just the beginning. Good day. Click. I immediately called Ms. Cole to report the conversation. Perfect response, she assured me. They are realizing her strategy backfired. Most men would be calling, begging, promising anything. You're making them play by the rulebook, and they didn't expect that. The games begin. Olivia wasn't used to losing. She'd always managed to get her way in our marriage, usually because I preferred peace over conflict. She was about to discover that divorce Ethan played by different rules than husband Ethan. First came the emotional ambushes. Her best friend, Haley, called me while I was making dinner. You absolute monster. Olivia's couch surfing at my place. She couldn't even buy groceries yesterday. After 15 years, this is how you treat her. Hello to you too, Haley, I replied calmly. Olivia chose to end our marriage via text and demanded lawyer-only communication. I'm respecting her wishes. If she's experiencing financial difficulties, her attorney can address that through proper channels. You're being cruel and vindictive. Haley shouted. She was emotional when she sent that text. Instruct lawyer communication only is a very specific type of emotional. I noted. As is packing half her belongings while I was at work. Please tell Olivia that if she wants to discuss financial arrangements, her lawyer has my lawyer's number. Next came her mother's tearful voicemails. Ethan, how could you do this? After all we've done for you. Olivia is devastated. She made one mistake and you're punishing her like this. I didn't return the call. The one mistake narrative was rich. Considering the bank records showing months of financial maneuvering. Then came the dirty tricks. My HR department called me in for a meeting. Apparently, they'd received an anonymous complaint that I was misusing company resources. for divorce preparations and displaying erratic behavior suggesting emotional instability. Thankfully, my boss knew me well. After a 10-minute conversation where I calmly explained the situation, he rolled his eyes and dismissed the complaint. Divorce brings out the worst in people, he sighed. Take whatever time you need to handle this, Ethan. Next, Ms. Cole forwarded me a motion filed by Mr. Peterson demanding exclusive use of our house, the one Olivia had already moved out of. The petition claimed I had created an intolerable living environment and that Olivia needed to return to the stability of her home. But the best one? The bank alert that popped up on my phone one afternoon. Olivia had found a debit card linked to a dormant savings account we'd opened years ago for a vacation fund and then largely forgotten about. It had about $2,500 in it. She'd attempted to withdraw the entire amount. The bank had flagged the sudden activity on a long inactive account. I called immediately, explained the pending divorce, and had the account frozen. When I told Ms. Cole, she actually smiled. This is gold, she said. Here's her lawyer crying about your bad faith, while she's literally hunting for hidden money to grab. This establishes a pattern we can use. The courtroom smacked down. 3 weeks later came the emergency support hearing. The courtroom was smaller than I expected, wood-paneled and formal. Olivia sat with Mr. Peterson on one side, not meeting my eyes. She looked different, designer outfit, perfect makeup, but with carefully cultivated dark circles under her eyes and a tissue clutched in her hand. The vulnerable victim, ready for her performance. I sat beside Ms. Cole, in my regular work suit, calm and prepared. Judge Warner, a no-nonsense woman in her 60s, called the hearing to order. Mr. Peterson went first, voice resonating with practiced outrage. Your Honor, my client has been left destitute by the defendant's vindictive financial cutoff. After 15 years of marriage, during which Ms. Johnson sacrificed her own career to support her husband's, she has been left without means to secure appropriate housing, transportation, or even basic necessities. We ask the court to order emergency temporary support reflecting the standard of living established in the marriage. The amount they were requesting was astronomical, essentially enough to fund a luxury apartment, a new car lease, full living expenses, and shopping money that exceeded what she'd spent even during our marriage. When Ms. Cole rose, she was brief and devastating. Your Honor, we have evidence that contradicts most of Mr. Peterson's claims, she said, sliding documents to the clerk. One by one, she dismantled their narrative. Exhibit A, Olivia's own text, demanding divorce and lawyers-only communication. Exhibit B, bank records showing I still paid all household bills, mortgage, car insurance, just not her discretionary spending. Exhibit C, evidence of her months of financial maneuvering before the divorce text. Exhibit D, records of her attempted raid on the dormant bank account. Exhibit E, proof that far from being destitute, she had been transferring money to a secret account for months. The judge's eyebrows shot up as she reviewed the documentation. She peered at Olivia over her reading glasses. Ms. Johnson, you demanded formal legal proceedings via text message, then attempted to circumvent those same legal channels to access funds. Judge Warner asked. Olivia's lower lip trembled. I was desperate. I didn't think he would just cut me off completely. Yet you specified lawyer-only communication and made no attempt to discuss financial arrangements before demanding divorce. The judge noted. Did you expect your husband to continue voluntary financial support after you explicitly terminated the marriage relationship? Mr. Peterson tried to interject, but the judge held up her hand. The court will grant temporary support, she ruled, but at a level reflecting reasonable needs, not the luxury amount requested. Furthermore, this support is conditional on full financial disclosure from both parties. The amount she ordered was less than half what they'd requested. Enough for a modest apartment and basic living expenses, but not the luxury lifestyle Olivia had envisioned. As we left the courtroom, I caught Olivia's glare. For the first time, there was something new in her eyes beyond anger, fear. She was finally realizing this wasn't going to play out according to her script. The final blow. With the temporary support established, the next battleground became property division. Ms. Cole had advised me to pick my battles carefully. Focus on the big items, she said. Let the small stuff go, even if it feels unfair. It's just stuff. The house would be sold, there was no avoiding that. But I insisted on handling the sale process to maximize value rather than rushing a fire sale. My retirement accounts, which I'd built largely before marriage, were mostly protected, though Olivia would get a portion of the growth during our marriage years. But Olivia's last play involved the car, a BMW X5 leased in my name that she'd taken when she left. Her lawyer argued passionately that she needed it for work, her minimal jewelry business, and that changing vehicles during this traumatic time would cause undue hardship. Ms. Cole's response was simple: her options are to qualify for the lease transfer, buy out the lease, or return the vehicle. Mr. Johnson is not obligated to maintain financial responsibility for a vehicle he cannot access or control. The judge agreed, giving Olivia 30 days to make arrangements. She did nothing. When I warned her the deadline was approaching, she ignored me. So I called the leasing company, informed them I would be stopping payments and that an unauthorized driver had possession of the vehicle. 3 days after the missed payment, repo men showed up at Haley's curb where Olivia had been staying. I got a furious call from Haley, which I let go to voicemail. Ms. Cole received a blistering email from Mr. Peterson about my vindictive behavior. She replied with a single line: the court order specified 30 days. Your client chose inaction. The aftermath. 6 months later, the divorce was finalized. The house sold for a good price in a rising market. Equity split according to the judge's formula, which factored in my larger down payment contribution. My retirement accounts were divided with a slight advantage to me, reflecting my pre-marriage contributions. The hidden savings Olivia had accumulated were counted against her share of marital assets. Alimony. The judge ordered 2 years of diminishing support, conditional on Olivia enrolling in job training or education to become self-supporting. Legal fees. Each of us responsible for our own, a victory, as they tried to get me to pay for both. Last I heard, Olivia was living in a one-bedroom apartment, working part-time at a boutique, and still telling friends I'd ruined her life. Haley had gradually distanced herself after Olivia's extended couch stay became burdensome. As for me, the months of legal battles were exhausting and expensive. Divorce is never truly a win. But I had preserved my dignity, protected what I'd worked for, and discovered a strength I didn't know I had. I still remember my final words to Olivia after the judge approved our settlement. She approached me in the hallway, still beautiful, still familiar after all those years, but now a stranger. You didn't have to make this so hard, she said, almost accusingly. I looked at her for a long moment before responding. I didn't make it anything, Olivia. You chose the battlefield. You set the rules. I just played the game better than you expected. Then I walked away, not looking back, finally free. Here's the thing, I didn't win by destroying her. I won by refusing to be destroyed myself. She wanted cold, hard legality. I gave it to her. And in doing so, I found something I'd lost somewhere in those 15 years of marriage: my self-respect. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.